Hey guys, I made it finally. I don't know how good my reception is going to be tonight. Excuse me. We've been having storms, and we had some big hail earlier. Knocked out the satellite, knocked out the electricity, but it's back on now. I think all the storms are finally past us. Thank goodness. Dandy's here. Hey Dandy, how you doing? Me and you might be the only ones here tonight. But this was last minute. Thank you for being here. Dandy's putting my links up for me. Thank everybody who will come in and later watch the replay, all that good jazz. I said this was the last minute thing because I come across some still a lot going on in the news with all these cases, and I found some updates and some additional information in some stories and cases that we've been following. So I just wanted to come on here and babble for a little bit, talk with you guys if anybody comes in besides me and Dandy Linus, and hope that the storms stay away. Like I said, I think they're pretty much past now. So, but anyway, while we're waiting for see if anybody else pops in, I will do my shameless plugging. Welcome to Southern Gal True Crime. If this is your first time here, thanks for deciding to join us. Or if you're watching replay, thank you for choosing to watch something on my channel. It's very much appreciated. I share missing persons, cold cases, some current true crime in the news, like we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. Most of the missing persons and camera's not right. Oh, everything's falling apart, including me. Anyway, most of the missing persons and cold cases that I share on my channel are the lesser known cases, don't get all the national attention, don't even get the local attention that they deserve or need. So I like to bring awareness. That's the heart and soul of my channel, to bring awareness to those cases that you don't hear about. So that is what I share. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Helps small channels like mine. The YouTube algorithm pushes it out more to more people, and that is the whole goal, is to get the important information about the missing persons and cold cases out to as many people as possible. So that is why I do what I do. You can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. My cat is exiting the room. Tigger is leaving the building. If I could just teach him how to shut the door behind himself, we'd be doing all right. Anyway, Facebook group, Facebook page. I do share stuff in the group and on the page that I do not put on YouTube, so you can get extra content. So please go check it out. If you have questions or comments, or if you have a case that is dear to your heart. Maybe you knew the victim. Maybe you happened in your hometown, in your home state, or anywhere, any case that you know of that you don't think is getting enough attention or you want to bring more awareness to. Email it to me right there. And give me the name of the victim, the state that it comes from, any details that you have about it. I will do my research on it, and I will feature it as a case of the week. I'll feature it in my missing person Monday, or any way I can feature it to bring awareness to it. I will do it. That is what I'm here for. If you would like to help support the channel and the search for the missing, I do have a few ways. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. I have a PayPal Me account. I now have a Venmo account that I set up a couple days ago, and a Southern Gal True Crime merchandise. I have coffee mugs, t-shirts, a tote bag. I have 3 different styles of t-shirts, 3 different designs of t-shirts, and you can get them in a t-shirt, a hoodie, a sweatshirt. Like I said, a coffee mug, a tote bag, a baseball cap. I think that's all I have on there now. So if you guys can think of any other ideas of any other kind of different merch that I don't have that you guys will be interested in, pop it in the chat, in a comment somewhere, email me, and I will see what I can do. All right, I think that is all my shameless plugging. I'll just go ahead and put trigger warning just for some of the things we're going to be talking about. I never get graphic on this channel. That's not what this channel is about. But just things being the nature of what we discuss. Of course, there are things that are disturbing. So just be forewarned. All right, I think that is all my shameless plugging. Let me see what we got in here. Junior's here. Hey, Junior, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm glad you could make it. And I'm sorry if I confused you on the I did my missing person Monday live stream instead of doing a video because I didn't feel good yesterday. Didn't feel like getting it recorded yesterday or last night, so I just did the live stream at 11 this morning. Oh goodness! But Junior had called me in it because I put it at 11 a.m. I did it at 11 a.m. today, and I think Junior he had called me and it made me laugh. Junior, I love Junior to death. He said, I guess he thought I was going to do it at 11 p.m. last night because it said decent folks or something to the effects that decent folks, uh, normal folks aren't awake at 11 o'clock at night. But I beg to differ. I'm a night owl, and I see another resident night owl is here. Hello, Mr. Steve from True Crime Web has honored us. He says, I cannot express how much I respect your drive to bring these family stories to our attention. Thank you so much, Mr. Steve. We always love having Mr. Steve here. Anybody who doesn't know, Mr. Steve is former law enforcement. He did everything in law enforcement you could do. He CSI, certified CSI tech. He knows his stuff. He's all around good guy, along with him and Mrs. Steve. And the whole family, all the Steves, the baby Steve, the double alt, triple alt. So it's always an honor when Mr. Steve drops in and visits with us. But thank you, sir, for all you do. You do much more important work than I do. Mr. Steve and the whole team that he has goes out and helps families free of charge, try to find their missing loved ones, works on cold cases, tries to bring some closure to some families. They do, along with Carolyn at Unearthed Secrets, Chris at the Mob Crew, everybody else that works behind the scenes. Christina, who is Carolyn's sister. They do wonderful work, so please go. You can find all their links on the, if Dandy, you'll probably pop them in the chat. But you can also find them at the homepage of my channel. Scroll down and it says, please visit our friends, and all the links are there. So please do go check them out and support them. because they do like I said, they do much more important work than me just sitting in front of a camera babbling. But thank you, Mr. Steve, for being here. Tell all Mrs. Steve and all the other Steves and double aughts and triple aughts hello. And I don't know where Mr. Steve is. I know he said he was going to be traveling, so safe travels, Mr. Steve. He's going to be they're going to be on the road a lot this month, working on these very important cases. Oh my goodness, you should be asleep by now. Mr. Steve said I head out in about 12 hours for 7 to 10 days, depending on the weather. Well, you need to be sleeping. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if you were here earlier, but here in Arkansas, we had a round of storms that come through, some big old hail, probably about a little bit smaller than golf ball size hail. Luckily, it didn't, as far as I know, break any windows, or I know it didn't break any windows. Hopefully, it didn't do any damage to the roof. But we had a couple of good little thunderstorms come through. But you be safe on everybody, Mr. Steve. You and everybody be safe in your travels. Thoughts and prayers will be with all of y'all. So 7 to 10 days, depending on weather. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I can't wait because I know we all know that there are things that they can't talk about what they're working on. Maybe sometime in the future, if things line out and get situated, sometime in the future, we can learn what's going on with them. But we all understand the importance of keeping it, not saying anything that can't be said right now. So thank you once again for going out and doing this work. And oh yeah, Mr. Steve said thanks everyone. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You guys do wonderful work. All right, I think I'm caught up. So I hope I remember to load my slideshow. I put it together in a hurry. Switch my. So like I said, I just came. I was bored today actually, and like I said, not feeling too good. So I just kind of laid in bed a little today and watched some TV and was looking up some true crime news as I do while I was watching probably ID Channel or Oxygen Network true crime on TV, and just came across some updates, some additional information on some stuff that we've been all of us creators have been following. And the first one that we're going to talk about, let me get the article going. Hopefully everything will load properly. First I wanted to talk about, because I forgot to put my missing person up. But there is a missing, we here in Arkansas, we have had a silver alert for a gentleman, looking for the article, Robert William Brown Jr. He's 77 years old. He has been missing since February 29th. And I came across an article that is from, what's today? Today is the 4th. So this article came out yesterday. And it says that authorities are scouring over 250 acres for this missing gentleman. So if any of you know how big 250 acres is, that is a fair amount of land to be searching. So if you hear something, my cat is running amok again. So, and with the weather that we had that just came through, and he's missing from the Texarkana, Arkansas area. So down in the southwestern part of the state. But let me read this article. It says an active search for a Texarkana, Arkansas man continued Sunday. Robert William Brown Jr., 77, has been missing since noon on Thursday, February 29th. Authorities were back out Sunday, yesterday, because today is Monday, right? Scouring a 250-acre area in the vicinity of Arkansas Highway 82, Miller County Road 18, and Private Road 1209. So this is a very rural area. I can tell just by the way what the roads are named. when it says private road and Miller County Road and things like that. It's a very rural country area. So the search contingent includes multiple first responders, canines. They have 2 helicopters, and they were bringing in a boat or boats. So I'm getting a little uneasy feeling. Head or something is making noise. It makes me uneasy when they say that they're bringing in boats, and that they're searching that big amount of land for this gentleman. And because I did in my Missing Person Monday live stream I did this morning, I read this article. He was one of the missing that I featured, and I speculated whether they might be bringing in the Cajun Navy, which if anybody doesn't know what the Cajun Navy is, they work out. It's a group of volunteers that work out of Louisiana. They respond to any kind of natural disaster, storms, floods, help search for missing persons. They have a lot of boats, a lot of airboats. They don't only work in Louisiana, they work in the whole eastern region. They do a lot of good work. Anyway, so I was just speculating whether they might be involved in this search. So back to Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown was last known to have been at a house at the end of Private Road 1209 in Texarkana. The Arkansas Department of Public Safety issued a silver alert about his disappearance Thursday at the request of the Miller County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Brown is 5 foot 10 inches tall, 170 pounds. He has brown hair, crew cut, blue eyes. He's a white male. It says that he might be wearing a hat and jacket. It's shown in the photograph, which I don't have, but it's a tan color jacket, and it looks like maybe I can get my fingers to work. It looks like maybe an army issue camouflage, kind of looks like a baseball cap. It's not really a baseball cap, but at any rate, I'm so mad at myself because I forgot to include the slide of his picture. But anyway, and it says he is also not believed to be traveling in a vehicle, so that means he's on foot. Makes it even worse. So anyone with information about Mr. Brown is urged to call Sheriff Detective Jeremy Poole at 870-774-3001. So that is our missing person. Like I said, I don't know if I might can share my screen and show you a picture of it. Let me try and see, and then I'll get caught up in the comments. Take that down. I don't know if this is going to work or not because I don't know how good my internet's working. I don't know if it's going to come up or not. There it is. Okay. Let me, no, need to go down so you can see. Slowly going down a little bit more. All right, that's what he looks like. And I'm going down a little bit more. That's the hat. A little bit more. There's a lag between what I'm doing and my camera, so I don't know. So that's his hat. So to me, that kind of looks like a camouflage army or military type hat. Somebody in chat can tell me. We have his face there, and then the jacket. It'll eventually move up. Is like a tannish, brownish color. They believe that is what he was wearing when he disappeared. That is Mr. Brown, 77 years old. And I don't think it said in this article, but in other articles I've read, it says that they believe he probably has Alzheimer's or dementia. So very scary, very sad. So I'm going to keep tabs, as I always do, on all my missing people that I feature and all the stories, cases that we follow, and hopefully we'll get some good news about Mr. Brown. Let me figure out how to. Okay, there we go. That back up. All right. Hello, Ro. Good to have you from Colorado. Glad to have you here. How's the weather in Colorado? Y'all getting snow? Hello, Miss Marissa is here. Good to see you. She says she just finished watching the earlier live. Are you talking about mine or somebody else's? If it was mine, thank you very much. All right, I think I'm caught up. Okay, let's get into these updates. So first, we're going to start out. This is another one. It may just be me being paranoid, but that's why I wanted to. And we talked a little bit about this one earlier in my Missing Person Monday live stream earlier too. I think Dandy was there and Mexi were there, and we were starting to have a little bit of questions about this missing. Once again, let me get the article loading. This is a Sebastian Rogers. Once the article comes up, I can give his whole name. He has a long name. Sebastian, I might not give his full name. It's Sebastian Drake Rogers, and there's another name in there. He has been missing from Tennessee. And earlier, when I shared him as one of my missing persons, I'd found, I think it was from the Arkansas Justice Project Facebook page. And Dandy, you can, I think you were here. I know Mexi was. I think it was me and you and Mexi were talking about it. The way that they worded it made it sound like that, because in the earlier, what they had got, this Arkansas Justice Project, I can't talk tonight. I'll have to slow down and breathe. The information they had got was that tracking dogs have not been able to follow his scent from the house to anywhere. So they didn't come out and say it, but I think authorities are kind of questioning why the dogs don't have a scent to follow. And if Mr. Steve's here, he could probably explain it better than me. They have been checking in the neighborhood. They said that it lives in an upper middle class neighborhood. So everybody has security cameras. Dandy, I think, or Mexi brought up, everybody probably has Ring doorbells. So they were asking everybody to check their security footage, check, all their footage from the whole neighborhood. He has not been captured on any security footage at all anywhere in the neighborhood, which could be something, it could be nothing. Children, and he's 15 years old. So teenagers are good at hiding, but so with the dog not being able to track his scent anywhere outside the house, he has not been caught on any security footage. And there was something else too. It said supposedly that he had went to bed Sunday night and that he had snuck out in the middle of the night wearing all black and carrying a flashlight. Yet his parents didn't see him leave. So, I mean, I'm not saying anything, but then I found this article that came out a few hours ago. So please, you guys in chat, tell me if you're getting what I'm saying, and if you agree with me or think I'm totally off base. But this is from WKRN.com, and it says law enforcement is scaling back the search for Sebastian Rogers. So why would they be scaling back a search? And he has autism. Scaling back a search for a 15-year-old teenager with autism that has been missing since Sunday. That's just a question I have. Like I said, I could be way off base, but it goes on to say authorities announced Monday that they are scaling back the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers and transitioning to an investigation after a week of intensive efforts. Hundreds of crews have searched thousands of miles around the beach, Beech. I'm assuming that's a neighborhood. The beach area in Hendersonville, where Sebastian was reported missing on Monday, February 26th. But more than a week later, officials said there still have been no sightings of the teen. No visual sightings, no sightings on surveillance footage, nothing. The dogs haven't been able to pick up his scent anywhere. So according to Deputy Chief Eric Craddock with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the decision to scale back efforts does not, quote, come lightly. He says, quote, this does not diminish our commitment to finding Sebastian. This is simply us transitioning from the ground search to the investigative side. Despite no sightings of the teen, Craddock said officials have, quote, no leads, no details to indicate that Sebastian is not alive. Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener said officials will continue to man a command post in the area with teams ready to go if they get any leads. The search has included drones, helicopters, horses, search dogs, dive teams, with searchers coming from as far as Knox County. Mountainous experts have also been searching in caves, and members of the Tennessee National Guard have been walking door to door. I'm assuming talking to the neighbors, talking to everybody in the neighborhood to see if they've seen anything, maybe to check the security footage, things of that nature. Craddock goes on to say, if there was a resource we thought we could utilize to help locate Sebastian, we have used it and we will continue to do so based on the leads that come in. The sheriff's office continues to urge families to check your properties. No detail is too small. Now, I think I read in another article they were asking them to check any sheds, outbuildings, any place where a child or a teenager could hide. It says an anonymous group of Nashville business owners have pledged a minimum $3,500 reward for information leading to Sebastian's whereabouts. No further information has been released. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 15, was reported missing on February 26 from the beach area in Hendersonville. He is 5 foot 5 inches tall, 120 pounds, with dirty blonde hair. He was last seen on Monday, February 26 near Stafford Court, wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants, said the TBI, which I'm assuming is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. So I want to know who saw him wearing the black sweatshirt and black sweatpants and carrying the flashlight. Because in other articles I've read, it may say in this one, it was said that the parents said that he went to bed Sunday night, and when they got up Monday morning, he was gone. Unless I've getting my cases mixed up, but I don't think I am. So who saw him wearing this black sweatshirt, black sweatpants with the flashlight? Now, I might have missed something. You know me. I've got so many things going on that sometimes I get confused, but Says the TBI originally issued an endangered child alert for Sebastian on the morning of February 26th, as multiple agencies took to the area to look for him. Based on additional investigative information developed during the search, the TBI issued an Amber Alert for Sebastian on February 27th. An Amber Alert is issued when there is reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred and the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. Multiple agencies, including the TBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Nashville Fire Department, all the agencies assisted in or are assisting in the search. So if you have seen Sebastian or have info about his whereabouts, call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615-451-3838 or the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-TBI-FIND, FIND. So, let me go back and see what comments we got. What do you guys think about this? So they're saying in this article, if I'm reading it correctly and understanding it, they're still looking, but then they're shifting to investigating. So either they have found something to make them believe that he was possibly abducted, or possibly something happened to him at his house. Now that's just my opinion. I'm sure you guys, excuse me, and if Mr. Steve is still here, he could probably have ideas of what that would mean about shifting from searching to investigating. I mean, that's the only two things that I can think of is they found some kind of evidence or discovered some kind of information to make them believe that he was abducted, especially issuing the Amber Alert, or that he didn't go out of the house. I don't know. I'm very confused and very, very concerned about this right now. But please, like I said, you guys let me know what you think in chat. It may just be me being paranoid, but get caught up. Oh, so Dandy says his parents did an interview today. I have not seen that. So what did the parents have to say? I know I don't want you to write a book, but or I'll find did I do a TV interview? I'll find a video when I get done here and see. You have a crying face, so but I have not seen the parents interview. As Marissa says, she was watching my live earlier. It was 3 a.m. here when you were live, so it had to be a replay. Yeah. So you're in. Remind me again where you're at. I'm still getting to know Australia, or is that somebody else I'm thinking about? I'm trying to learn where everybody's from. I promise. Yes, Dandy says being on replay crew helps. Yes. Marissa says, I wonder if his house has a garage that enters straight into the house. That is a good question. I know that a lot of, because it says it was an upper middle class neighborhood. So being a country girl, that means to me that would be a pretty nice neighborhood. And usually houses have what they call attached garages that do have usually leading out from a kitchen or a washroom area that leads directly from the house out into the garage. It's possible. But yeah, I'm just really confused about the no sightings of him anywhere. As many, even as good teenagers are very good at hiding. Children and teenagers are very good at hiding. But with as the amount of cameras that there are today, and in a neighborhood like that, an upper middle class neighborhood, probably most every house is going to have some kind of security cameras, ring doorbells, and for him not to be seen anywhere on any security footage in that neighborhood just makes you wonder how far he got away from his own home. And I'm sure that, the house has been, everything has been searched, you would think. And then the dog not being able to track his scent out. I don't know. Maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, but I'm very concerned and very confused, or just wondering. And then like I said, when I saw the article that said they were shifting, still looking, but shifting into an investigation. What are they investigating? Kidnapping or an abduction? Something with the family, friend of the family, close to the family. Did something accidentally happen to him? And I don't know. I don't spread rumors and unfounded things. I'm just, anybody who watches my channel knows that, but I'm just trying to think of a rational explanation for some of these things. Yes, Dandy says, are you talking about law enforcement? Dandy says, I wonder what they know that we don't. So you're either talking about, I'm assuming law enforcement or parents or both. I'm like I said, law enforcement has, in my opinion, like I said, if Mr. Steve is still in here and he wants to chime in, I know he probably hates me calling him out all the time. They have to, in my opinion, for them to switch to saying that they're still looking but investigating. That would lead me to believe, in my uneducated, limited knowledge of, that they found something, seen something, got some information, some evidence to lead them to believe that he was abducted. Something may have happened to him at his home or something of that nature. I don't know. It's just, I've got, ever since I've read that post that was on from the Arkansas Justice Facebook page that came from, they shared it from one of the Tennessee law enforcement pages. Between that post and this article saying they're shifting to investigating, I've just got this bad nagging in the back of my brain that won't go away. That's very nice. Rose says, hello, everyone. Blessings and prayers. I send all. Thank you. Blessings and prayers to you too, Rose. Always good to have you here. Thank you, Rose. Rose says that you're getting more subs. You're relatable and care for the ones, for the most part, that get very little coverage. Yes. Um, that's that's the heart and soul of my channel is covering cases that don't get not that I don't think that the cases that are getting the national attention, not that I don't think they're not important. Absolutely, they're important. Those victims and those victims' families need justice. But there's so many cases that do not get the national coverage, do not get the local coverage, and I just want to bring more attention, as much attention and awareness as I can to those cases. So, but thank you for your kind words, Ray. Junior says, sounds like the parents, this is just speculation on our parts. So it sounds like the parents did something to him and took him somewhere. It doesn't look good. You know, I tend to, I see your point, and I'm almost there. But like I said, I don't want to victim blame, family blame when we don't know what's going on for sure. But I just have nagging in the back of my brain that something, and obviously, the law enforcement does know a whole lot more than we do sitting here. But just they have to know or have to know something, have some evidence or some information that's leading them in down some direction, or at least for now, some lead maybe they have gotten is taking them down a certain avenue. That avenue, they might get to the end of the avenue and it turns out to be nothing. Could be something, whatever avenue they're going down. But yeah, to me, it's just I'm glad I'm not the I'm glad I'm not the only one that just has questions. Um, I'm get caught up. Oh goodness, not another. Dandy says I watched the parents interview. The adult male in the home is a step parent. Now I'm not saying that all step parents are bad, but with all these, and I'm not saying that this male step parent has done anything. But with all these cases, you guys know we've been following the same cases with all these cases that's going on now with these step parents or step parents, boyfriends, whatever. Um, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the step parent. My middle brother's a step parent to two beautiful girls and a teenage boy, or no, they're not teenagers anymore, they're grown. He's a wonderful stepdad. But there's some out there that are not too good. Um, but anyway, so we'll keep following this and see where it goes. Hopefully they'll find Sebastian alive and well somewhere. But I say it just makes me wonder. And I'm on Dandy. I'm going to go find when I get done here. Go find that interview with the if you want to if you can find a video link or a link to an article, you can throw it in my Discord for me, or I can search for it when I get done. Rose says 300 days a year of sunshine on the western slope of Colorado. Oh, no, it's Dandy. Yeah, Dandy's in Colorado. I think Rose is in Colorado too. I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I'm still trying to learn where everybody's from. Oh, I was right about Marissa. Yep, from Australia, from down under. Mind of Monsters. Welcome, Mom. How are you? Glad to have you here. He's asking about a link. Glad to have you go definitely check out Mind of Monsters, another great channel. Oh, yeah, Mr. Steve chimed in. Mr. Steve says victimology will tell so much: friends, hobbies, gaming, medical history, injuries, computer searches, phone calls. Yeah, absolutely. So, Mr. Steve, are we paranoid, thinking that something may be going on that, of course we don't know. Like I said, we absolutely don't know everything that the law enforcement knows, but it could be he ran away, or just like another story I'm going to share, Minnie Hughes, the 12-year-old little girl from Texas that went missing. Luckily, they found her. She is safe. They have arrested somebody in her case. She was on this new dating app. She's 12 years old, and I'll bring you the whole story. 12 years old, and she was on this dating app, a new one apparently, because I'd never heard of it, and Dandy and some others that were in last time we were talking about it. It's called Tagged, Tagged, a dating app that she was on, and law enforcement put out an Amber Alert because they were afraid that she had been a predator, or was on this app, had lured her out to either abduct her and do what offenders do, or to traffic her. but she was found safe. They have arrested somebody either yesterday or today. So I do have that article, that information to bring you. So maybe they think, like Mr. Steve mentioned, gaming. I've read a lot of cases lately where these predators are on these gaming sites, and grooming and luring children through these gaming sites. It's just so scary these days how through social media, gaming apps, any kind of social media platforms, any kind of apps are a predator's playground. It's just horrifying. But thank you, as always, Mr. Steve, for your words of wisdom. Marissa said, I just looked at a section of the parents' interview. Stepfather speaking, and mom is rocking back and forth, looking in shock. Yeah, yeah. I would be in shock too if I don't have kids of I don't have kids of my own, biological kids, but I've helped raise plenty of nieces and nephews and friends' kids and the like. Yeah, if one of my babies went missing, I would be in shock. I just feel so bad for. I'm just so scared about this one. I'm all of them scare me, but there's just something now about this one that's really scary. And the Elijah Vu one has. I don't know the latest of it. I do have a little bit about the parent or the mom and the step monster, whatever he was, that when they're supposed to go back to court. But oh, it's just terrifying that these babies, these kids, are just wandering off, disappearing, being hurt by people who are supposed to be taking care of them. Thank you, Dandy. I see Dandy put in the link to the. Thank you. I will check that out. Thank you, Dandy. Trying to get caught up in comments. Dandy says she's been looking for something, for that darn thing, for something. Oh my goodness, that is enough. Rose says she is in Podunk Rifle, Colorado. Same house since '87. After bust, we went through the boom. Two companies, then retired in 2013. Had a good run. Houses were affordable. Well, it sounds like you're living your best life right now, Rose. I'm glad. I love that name, Podunk Rifle. If I'm pronouncing that right, because in Arkansas, Podunk. I'm not going to say it's a negative term, but if we use it to sometimes to describe very small towns, like Podunk, whatever, Um, so that's why I was laughing at. I'm not making fun. I promise. I'm not by any means, but Lord, I wish I was close to retirement age. I still got about. I don't know how old do you have to be to retire now? I probably got about another 15 years or so. I don't know the way the Social Security is going. I probably have to work till I die, but that's all right. Thank you. Okay. Yes, Marissa says my husband is step parent to my eldest son. He has always felt him overcompensating for people. Say he is not his dad. Oh, that's BS. You do not have to share DNA. You don't have to share DNA to be a parent. And I've known some step parents who were better parents to children than the children's biological parents. And I've known people that are technically not step parents, but just I'm gonna put this without giving any personal information away. Known people that have helped raise friends' kids and have been more of a parent to them than their biological parent. Let me just put it that way. So you don't have to be anybody who says that a step parent or anybody that's not biological is not a real parent. That's BS. If I understand what you're saying there. You don't have to share DNA to be a parent, to be a good parent. Yes, Sandy says she grew up with a wonderful stepdad. Not everyone has a bad intention. There are still great people among us. Absolutely. And I do believe, even though, and I think it's because it's the 24/7 news cycle, social media. These kind of things, unfortunately, have been happening since the beginning of time. But it's just, like I said, now with 24/7 news cycles, social media, we just hear about them. We get overwhelmed and bombarded with all these bad things. I still believe in my heart that there are more good people out there than bad, and that the good people will overcome. So we have to keep that faith, keep that hope. I'm slowly getting caught up, guys. Oh, yeah. Mom says, and I call mine the monster's mom for short. Says, I lived in Nashville for 20 years. My heart cries for the missing there. The law enforcement does not have a good record for finding kids. Hendersonville is a nice area. Lots of country singers live there. That is where I've heard at Hendersonville. Mm. So Hendersonville, so that's where he's missing from, right? So that's, I've been to Nashville a few times. So if Henderson, I'm confused now. I'm thinking about too many cases in my head right now. I think I read, or somebody made a comment about some area in Tennessee, or maybe it was Kentucky, somewhere that didn't have a very good track record for finding kids. But it's sometimes it's hard. You can't blame anybody. I'm sure law enforcement and everybody's doing the best they can. Um, but it's so hard. I have a lot of friends that are law enforcement, EMTs, firefighters, and what they have to see and do on a daily basis is just it's not for the weak-hearted. So God bless Mr. Steve for all his years, everything that he saw while he was in law enforcement and CSI work. Junior says he just described him on the monsters. Thank you, Junior. Danny put the link in. I'm so behind. I thought I was getting caught up. All right, Mr. Steve says step parents and the cops are in the same boat. The vast majority bring security, but the few bad ones taint the public's view negatively. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what profession you're in, what you are, who you are. There's good and bad in everything. It's like Mr. Steve said it better than I did. A few bad apples spoil the whole barrel, unfortunately. So yeah, we can't blame all step parents aren't bad. All law enforcement is not bad. It's like you said, the few that taint everybody. That's why you got to have an open mind and you know don't think that every step parent is bad. Don't think that every cop is a bad cop, and you have to take it individual basis. Fritzy Garage is here. Hello, Fritzy from Poland. Always good to have Fritzy here. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, Mind of Monsters is agreeing with what Mr. Steve said about not all are bad. Yes, Marissa says, I hope they have checked his gaming correspondence. A car could pull up to the front of a house and the dog just go around in circles if that was his daily movements. Exactly. Exactly. So that's what I'm wondering if, but I'm just assuming once again that their house and most of the houses have security cameras. So, you know, and depending, now I live in a very small town. I don't know how big this neighborhood is or this how big this town or city is. I live in a very small town, under 2,000 population. Everybody knows everybody. If a strange car goes through the neighborhood or a strange person walks through the neighborhood, somebody's going to notice and take notice and watch. So I'm wondering if how easy or hard it would be for a strange vehicle to be noted, to come into the neighborhood and be noticed or not be noticed. If they're watching, I'm sure they watched all the security footage for vehicles and for, while they're looking for to see if Sebastian is on any. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, about cars coming in. Excellent point, Marissa. Junior said that he's back. He just watched the interview with the parents. Does the boyfriend live with the mom and Sebastian? I don't know. You had to ask Sandy. And I'm sure you probably weren't directing that at me. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that as soon as I get done here. I'm gonna go watch that interview. Also, Dandy says yes, the boyfriend does live there. All right. Let me see what we got next. We're already an hour in. It's all right. This was an impromptu last minute thing. It's all right. Maybe it won't turn into another. I had a 3.5 hour live the other night. I don't think I can do another one of those tonight. Maybe 2 hours. Yes. Mr. Steve always with the first question to be answered is how often did he dress in black and go out with a flashlight in the dark? That will reveal tons. Absolutely. Because that's when they said that he was last seen dressed all in black and a flashlight going out. I was like, because that would go back to victimology, right, Mr. Steve? If I remember I try to retain some knowledge from all the true crime stuff I watch and learn from you professionals who know what you're talking about. Yeah, was that something, if that was something that he did on a regular basis, go out at night wearing all black, carrying a flashlight, maybe playing, he's autistic. I have a very good friend who has an autistic son that, that does some things that, other kids might not do. So that might be a normal thing for him. And it might not have concerned the parents for him to be going outside at night, maybe just walking around the yard, their property, their yard, just in black with a flashlight. Look, it could be something that he does all the time. Absolutely. Oh goodness. Rissa said, "Yeah, you were there." Said the 3.5 hour live was great. Oh my goodness, I could not hardly talk the next day, and my voice is still between all the talking and then with the weather changing here, it's allergy season and everything's all stopped up and scratchy. But thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoy talking with, interacting with you guys with these live streams. Aside from, that's the second best thing. Excuse me, my supper's about up on me. Um, Besides bringing this information, getting this information out, I just love interacting with you guys on live streams. Oh, so Junior, so he said he watched the interview. So Junior said, so the boyfriend left the house before the mother got up, and now Sebastian is missing. So is that did that come from the interview? I'm assuming it did. Oh, Dandy said yes. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. Y'all keep chatting. Y'all giving me some good information. Food for thought. All right, I'm caught up. We'll go to what is next. Oh, Madeline Soto, another horrible case. Once again, a step parent. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that in Sebastian's case that's the case, but in my opinion, something's going on with Sebastian. All right, so I'm looking for Madeline Soto. And I know everybody and their mama has been doing lives about Madeline, which is absolutely fabulous, but I just wanted to include a little bit of information. Probably nothing that you guys haven't already heard. So this is from Fox 35 Orlando. Sorry. And it is from today. If today is still March 4th. It says Madeline Soto, what is next in Florida teens homicide investigation? 1 week ago, 13-year-old Maddie Soto disappeared, prompting a statewide missing child alert. Officials confirmed her body was later found in a rural Osceola County just days after she was first reported missing. Stephen Stearns, her mother's boyfriend, and the prime suspect in her disappearance, is accused of moving her body in the morning hours of Monday, February 26th, after taking her life in Kissimmee, the Orange County Sheriff's Office said. The ME's office obviously will determine her COD. Stearns is being held without bond in the Osceola County Jail on unrelated charges of SA and possession of CSAM. As of Monday morning, he has not been charged in Madeline's homicide. So Madeline's death is now being investigated as a homicide by the Kissimmee Police Department. There's a picture of the POS. So what is next in the investigation? For insight on what typically happens next in cases such as Madeline's, Fox 35 News spoke to police expert Orlando Rolon, Rolon, with one little thingies over the O. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Rolon. The former police chief of Orlando, and David Nutting, a retired detective and law enforcement officer. During an interview with Nutting, he said the homicide investigation will remain ongoing as the Kissimmee Police Department, the lead agency on the case, collects and reviews the evidence. That evidence could include items collected from the scene where Madeline's body was found. Along with forensic and video evidence. And I've heard that there were some horrible pictures and videos on that phone. I would not be and could not be the one that would have to sit and watch and look at things that were on that phone. He has only been charged so far with the crimes related to what was found on his cell phone and in the house. So thankfully, he has no bond. So that gives the detectives some time to work with the prosecutors to make sure that once they do officially charge him with homicide, which I'm quite certain will be coming, that it will be a case that is wrapped up really tight, Nutting said. We asked Rolon about the interview we did with Madeline's mother, Jen Soto, on February 27th, where Stearns could be seen fidgeting with his hands and cracking his knuckles in the background. That's so creepy. If you guys haven't seen that, he's just hovering. She's doing the interview and he's hovering in the background. Chills. Do you think that police looked at that as well and kind of said, okay, something kind of is not right here? Fox 35 News, Danielle Knox asked. I can assure you that the law enforcement agencies that are involved are looking at everything, and nothing has been discounted at this point. And the investigation is ongoing. Everything the law enforcement agency, the lead agency investigating this case, may find to be suspicious or needing further clarification that will take place. Um, Overall, several factors will have to come together in order for law enforcement to present what they believe is the conclusion to what led to Madeline's passing. That information will eventually be filtered through the state attorney, and the prosecution gets the evidence and determines what next step must be taken. So the district attorney gets all the evidence, and I guess the district attorney is the one that either makes the decision or they send it to the grand jury. I don't know about all that. I know a little bit, but not. So who was Madeline Soto? That is Maddie. Madeline is the most important, the heart of this whole situation. So Madeline was a student at Hunters Creek Middle School, which is located at Town Loop Boulevard in Orlando. She turned 13 on February 22nd. She had a birthday celebration the day before she disappeared. Officials originally said that Madeline was last seen the morning of February 26th after Stearns allegedly dropped her off a few blocks from her school. And from what I understand, because people were questioning why she was dropped off, I believe it was in a church parking lot and not at school, from what I've read and heard from other information and creators, that was kind of normal. They would drop some of the kids, they would drop them off because, teenagers don't like to have their parents drop them off at the school. So there were some kids that would be, hey, drop me off at this parking lot, and it was only maybe a block or two away from the school. So that wasn't, from what I understand, if anybody please correct me if I'm wrong, that kind of wasn't out of the ordinary. So days later, on March 1st, Orange County Sheriff John Mina announced during a news conference that Madeline was never dropped off at school and was deceased before then. Video evidence showed Stearns discarding items in a dumpster at a Kissimmee apartment complex at 7:45 a.m. on February 26, which was later recovered and identified as Madeline's backpack and school-issued laptop. There's also video evidence of Stearns returning to his neighborhood with Madeline visible in the vehicle. And from what I understand, already deceased. Mina, however, said that the teenager was already deceased at this time. Her body was found hours after that news conference. And apparently that's... Oh, and then it's got I don't know if I can get let me see if I can share my screen right quick, because this is so creepy. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm not used to doing the share screen thing. We'll see if I can get this picture to come up. It's so creepy. Can you see that? This is a still from that interview, and this is the picture that I saw. That's the mom there giving the interview, and it's got him highlighted back there, just kind of lurking and knowing what we know now. But even not knowing, if nothing was going on, that would still be creepy. That would still be creepy to me. He's just lurking back there with. If it's just me, being weird, but yeah, to me that is so creepy. Anyway, make sure that was the end of the article. I got stuck on that picture. See if there's any other. Want to find a picture of Madeline. Here's one. All right. See, I'm practicing with you guys on doing screen sharing here. Because usually my connection is not good enough to share my screen, but since it is tonight, I'm going to there we go. There's Madeline. And this I did, and I don't think I saved that article. The headline or the underneath this picture, it says, or you can read it. It says Madeline Soto's death sparks Orange County parents plea for absence alert policy changes. So apparently, they don't alert the parents. I guess maybe in because she would have been in high school, right, or middle school, high school, that they don't because when I was in school, and I know for sure in grade school, and our school was so little, we had grade school and high school. We didn't have what they call middle school. That especially in grade school, if a child didn't show up, if the parents hadn't called and said, hey, my kid's got a doctor appointment or they're sick and they're not going to be at school today, whenever they took roll, what we call roll call, and a child wasn't there, they immediately called the parents to see where the kid was. But apparently they don't do that anymore, or some schools don't. I don't know. You guys can let me know in chat. But yeah, I found an article about because they didn't alert, nobody alerted the mom that Madeline wasn't at school that day. From if I remember the article correctly. All right, let me check comments. All right. What? So Dandy says the sheriff of Osceola County shared crime scene photos to a platform. Are you serious? I mean, I know you wouldn't lie about that. You're talking about to a social media platform? Why? How? What? Oh my goodness. I don't want to see them, obviously, but do you know what platform he shared them to? Can you say or put initials? If that's true, and like I said, I believe you, but if that wherever you read that or got that information from, if that's true, that is horrible. Horrible for anybody, but much less the sheriff. Are you serious? Yeah, Mind of Monsters wants to know what's his name. Marissa says, I wonder if they did a blood test on Madeline's mother. I suspect the boyfriend was, I can't say the D word, and that is why she slept in. Possible. I'm, I'm just to the point now where anything is possible. I'm just beyond words on things that happen these days. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Steve was just there. I was going to highlight his comment. It just disappeared. Mr. Steve, did you accidentally delete yourself? Because Mr. Steve made a good point that he had just checked the registered SO in somewhere, and that there was 38. I hope I didn't accidentally time out Mr. Steve. I hope I didn't push something wrong. If I accidentally put Mr. Steve in timeout, I'm sorry. But I was just fixing to highlight his comment and it disappeared. Oh goodness. I'm gonna be in so much trouble if I accidentally put Mr. Steve in timeout. But and I'm laughing because on his live streams, he's accidentally puts people in timeout by pushing the wrong or the thing, the comments, when you're trying to highlight a comment on StreamYard, it'll jump and it'll kick them out or put them in timeout. So, Danny, do you know how to see if I accidentally put Mr. Steve in timeout? I don't know. I'm not on the YouTube side of it in chat. I'm just in the what? Wait a minute. Now Mr. Steve's back. What? Why is he not showing up? He disappeared again. Oh wait, there it is. There you are, Mr. Steve. You disappeared. Are you back? Did I accidentally put you in timeout? I was gonna highlight your comment that you had earlier about that you had checked the registered the SO registry in somewhere, and that there was 38. But as soon as I went to click on it, it disappeared. But now I see your test that you put up there. Are you back? I don't know what's going on, y'all. I probably hit something and I don't know. I guess Mr. Steve is back. He put test. We can see that, Mr. Steve. So I'm sorry if I accidentally did something to put you in timeout or kick you out. I didn't mean to. I promise. I would never do that to Mr. Steve. Okay, Mexa says that she sees him. Okay, maybe it's just on my end. I don't know. But I did see this one right here that says test. But I don't know what happened to the one. Maybe it jumped up, the one that he was talking about where he checked the registry. Okay, Mexa says he's here. Okay, that's good. Okay, maybe I just lost it. Okay, so Dandy says Steve's comment is still there. 38 RSOs in Hendersonville. Oh my gosh. How big is city town? How big is Hendersonville? I mean, 38 is too many, and doesn't matter what size town, city, whatever, but I don't know. I've heard of Henderson, but then again, I get they're in there. No, there's a Henderson. So Hendersonville, Tennessee. There's a Henderson, Las Vegas. That I have some family by marriage that lives in Henderson, Las Vegas. But how big is Hendersonville, if anybody knows? Okay, so Mr. Steve is still there. I guess it was just me on my end. It just disappeared, or maybe it jumped up and I lost it. I was afraid I put you in timeout accidentally, Mr. Steve. Uh-oh. Andy says she's got to go cover her parents up. So Junior's talking to Sandy. Did you mean Dandy? We have a new name, new face, Dandy Jane ASMR. Welcome. Good to have you here. It's good to have a new face, a new name. If you let us know how you found us, how you found me. We're always glad to have new people in our community. Welcome. You can feel free to divulge any or none, any information you feel comfortable divulging, or not. It's fine. Good to have you here. Always good to have new people here. Now Junior's talking to Sandy. Now I'm thinking about Grease, the movie Grease. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you probably you meant Dandy. I do that all the time, trying to type with my big fat fingers. But now I want to watch Grease, because whenever I hear the name Sandy, I want to reminds me of Grease. So if I start getting up and start singing and dancing every song that's in Grease, then we'll be here for 3.5 hours again. Mom says Hendersonville is not that big at all. It's right outside of Nashville. So it's basically kind of a suburb of Nashville. Gotcha. Thank you, Mind of Monsters. Oh, that's awesome. Dandy Jane, I'm just going to call you Dandy Jane, because we have a Dandy Linus. We have Dandy Linus and Dandy Jane, found us by chance. That is awesome. thank you for deciding to pop in and see what we're all about. And we got a very good community. We can be a little bit goofy sometimes, but that's okay. We're serious when we need to be. If you we cover true crime on my channel here. I cover missing persons, cold cases, sometimes current true crime like we're talking about tonight. The cases that I usually cover in the missing persons are the lesser known ones that don't get the national attention. Not that they're not important, but I'm passionate about bringing awareness to cases that don't get a lot of attention. So I'm glad you happened to find us by chance, Dandy Jane. Welcome. Right, so Mom says Hendersonville is the most populous city in Sumner County, Tennessee, on Old Hickory Lake. As of the 2020 census, the city's population was 61,753. I just left, and I'm not laughing because I'm not laughing at you, Mom, but when somebody said, I can always tell that I come from a very, what we would call, what Ryu, was it Ryu earlier said that she lived in Podunk, something, Colorado. I live in a very, very small town, less than 2,000 people. So that's what I call a small town. So whenever you say 61,000 population, you say, oh, that's not very big. You can tell I'm a small town girl. Because to me, 61,000 is a lot compared to less than 2,000 where I live. But it's all perspective. So I get you. I get you. So y'all don't make fun of me for being a rube. Little rube girl living on the farm in Podunk, Arkansas. Oh goodness, I wouldn't have it any other way. I visited big cities, but I couldn't live there. I've lived in small towns and on the farm all my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way, especially this day and age now. Oh goodness, I gotta get down to Mr. Steve because he's talking about. Let me get caught up. Yeah, Dandy Linus says nice name, Dandy Jane. So we got two dandies now, so I'm gonna have to be careful. I just say Dan because I always called Dandy Linus Dandy. So now we got I'll have to find another name for Dandy Linus. I have to come up with a nickname for you. We have Dandy L and Dandy J. Good to have both of you here. Good to have everybody here. Everybody who's watching now and listen to me babble on. Everybody who's watch replay. While you guys are here, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're watching replay, you can always leave a comment on if you have a question or comment on any of these cases or anything else we are discussing in chat, because we get off topic a lot, but that's okay. Just if you're watching replay, pop a comment, pop them in the comments. I always check my comments. Dandy Jane says, so weird that there's another Dandy. I was for sure I was the only one. Oh, we've got to. I feel blessed now. I have two dandies now. I have a Dandy Linus and a Dandy Jane. Oh my goodness, that is. I'm not gonna say creepy, but that's cool. So Dandy Linus's mom says her mom's name is Jane, so we have Dandy Jane, and it. Oh my goodness, it's karma. It's karma. It's good juju. Instead of bad juju, it's good juju. All right, now Mr. Steve had a comment about something about hunting. I got to go see what that's all about. Okay, Mr. Steve says that he has to walk toward town to hunt. Yeah, Mr. Steve's a country boy, so he can kind of relate to my country girl rudeness. Probably rube, not rude. I try not to be rude. RUBE, but I think I do have family that can't, because Mr. Steve is from somewhere in Georgia, and I understand guys, if and I'm sure all of you guys have known, do not ever say on here what specific town you live in, unless you just live in a huge city where it'd be hard, because there are crazy people out there who will stalk you and hunt you. That's why I just say I live in Central Arkansas. Because if I said the town I lived in, it would be very easy to find. But my point was, I know that as of right now, Mr. Steve is from somewhere in Georgia, and talking about, towns and cities. I have my grandfather was born in Adairsville, Georgia, and then they moved to Rome, Georgia, and somewhere else in Georgia. I can never remember the town. I haven't spent a lot of. When I was a teenager, we would go to Rome, Georgia, to visit his some kinfolks that we had there. But yeah, my grandpa was born in Adairsville. And like I said, Rome, and there was another town. I can't. Shame on me for not remembering the other town. We used to go there. I haven't been there in years, except passing through Georgia, going on trips to the East Coast, down to the Carolinas. But anyway, I've digressed, and I completely lost my train of thought. Awesome. Dandy Jane says, I just subbed. I've been dying to be in a cyber sleuth type group. Yeah, I get. Depends on what you mean by what kind of cyber sleuth. We can sleuth, but and I'm not trying to run you off or be, we stick to the facts. We don't name names of any persons of interest or suspects that have not been named, publicly named by law enforcement. We're, as I say, we are no BS, no hype, no baiting, no all. We're good. We're passionate about true crime and about getting these stories out and discussing these stories, bringing awareness. So if that's what you enjoy, you are welcome, absolutely welcome here. But sometimes we'll do a little speculating, or just like we were doing. I don't know if you were here earlier when we were discussing the Sebastian Rogers, and apparently I'm not the only one. We all have a little bit of a question about what's going on with that case, and we were kind of doing a little speculating, but a little speculating or theorizing, and that's not bad. But when you start going off, as I say, if you're going off the rails on the crazy train, as Ozzy would say, we don't do that here. So Mom says that she comes from Paducah, Kentucky. I just lived in Nashville for half of my life. I'm trying to think. I know I've been through Kentucky. I might have stayed in Kentucky going through on trips. So Marissa sounds like Marissa said my region has only around 9,200 people. That's closer to the size. Yeah, like I said, the town I live in is less than 2,000. It might be barely 2,000. The little town I live in. Are you talking to me, Dandy Jane? I'm a Arkansas girl. I'm not a Texas girl. But my dad was a Texas guy. My dad came from Texas. My dad was born on Galveston Island and grew up in Longview, Texas. And then they somehow the family ended up in Arkansas. And he met my mom, and the rest is history. Maybe Junior. Junior said, did I just hear Southern Gals gonna start singing and dancing? Yes, because you accidentally called Dandy Sandy. So Sandy, because once again, we're getting so off the rails, off topic, but that's okay. I can take anything anybody says and somehow relate it to either a movie or music. So when you said Sandy instead of Dandy, Sandy reminded me of the movie Grease, and I said I might get up and start singing and dancing every song that is in Grease, the movie. So I could be singing and dancing. Who knows? Now Dandy Jane is laughing at me. That's all right. We all laugh at each other. Yep, Dandy Linus is a snow bunny, Colorado. Dandy Jane says her aunt was Jane. I'm so behind. Oh wait, I might be getting caught up. I hope we haven't scared Mr. Steve away. He's being quiet. Either that or he left. We may have gotten too crazy with him. Or I don't know if he was having trouble or if it was on my end. That's probably on my end a while ago. So speaking of Mr. Steve, there is Dandy's put in the link to True Crime Web, which is Mr. Steve's channel. Please go check it out. He is for anybody he that hasn't heard, new here, or watching replay that doesn't know. Mr. Steve is former law enforcement, former CSI tech. He knows his stuff. Very smart, very nice guy. Good guy. Good guy. Marissa says, oh, wait a minute. There we go. Marissa says, where I lived before, it was only 1,500 people. I ran a local club, but could still walk down the street and meet people I didn't know. Yeah. Oh, there's Mr. Steve. He went to get coffee. Now he wants to know what happened. Apparently I'm going to start singing and dancing in a minute, according to Junior. I don't know. Mr. Steve is out of control. You're going to have to get us back under control. Mr. Steve is going to have to be the voice of reason here tonight, which I don't know. That might be a scary thought because Mr. Steve can be a funny guy. He can be a funny guy. Once again, Goodfellas, my obscure movie references. Yeah, Dandy wants to know if Mr. Steve has Waffle House coffee. Dandy Jane says, "Yum, coffee." I'm not a coffee drinker. I've drank coffee before, but it's not a. I have to have my sweet tea. Being from Arkansas, I grew up with a sweet tea in the bottle. I think. Um, right now I have Coke in my cup, but if you try to talk to me in the mornings before I've had at least one glass of cold iced sweet tea, don't do it. Just like people who drink coffee that say don't talk to me until I've had at least one cup of coffee. Don't try to talk to me until I've had at least one glass of sweet tea in the morning. Ooh, Dandy Jane says I'm drinking sweet tea right now. Did I miss where you said you were from, or did you say where you was from? I probably missed it. Junior, Junior's just. I think Junior's just trying to cause trouble. Junior says I thought Mr. Steve was going to take ballet lessons at one time. Who knows? I think Mr. Steve could do anything, or he could do anything to Mrs. Steve. He's dragged Mrs. Steve through the woods. I think he mentioned that he wants to throw her off a boat at some time for some kind of experiment he's doing. Once again, for anybody who has not watched Mr. Steve's channel, he does a wonderful, in all seriousness, Mr. Steve does wonderful experiments and recreations of different crime scenes and stuff. I love all of them, even the ones with the creepy mannequins in them, even though the mannequins are, I don't like the mannequins. And Mr. Steve says that he's cutting back to just 2 pots of coffee per day. That's good to hear. 2 pots. I would be bouncing off the walls. I would be like a cat in the cartoons with my claws stuck in the ceiling if I had to. Yes. Dandy says Mrs. Steve deserves a raise. Yes, she does. I want to know about because I know that I heard Mr. Steve mention at one point that he was gonna, for some kind of experiment, he wanted to throw Mrs. Steve off a boat. I think it might have had something to do with the Scott Lacey Peterson case. I don't know. I'm sure Mrs. Steve had something to say about being thrown off a boat. Yes. Marissa says, make sure we all get sent the link to Mr. Steve doing ballet. Now, Mr. Steve may be like me and do unintentional ballet because I'm clumsy. And if I walk and I miss a step, I do go in circles. And, you know, if that's considered ballet, I can do ballet. Oh, goodness. I love you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Junior says, are you talking about throwing Mrs. Steve off the boat? Might have something to do with solving the Missy Beavers case. That was the one from Texas, right? In the church. She was gonna do some kind of classes, showed up at the church, and yeah, if I'm thinking about the right case. I remember that case. Okay. All right, I'm caught up in comments finally, so we'll see what we got next and get back on track a little bit. Okay, so this is another it seems like we've had a rash lately of, excuse me, I'm sorry, I had boneless barbecue wings for supper, and they're not wanting to cooperate. But it seems like lately, once again, just because of the 24/7 news cycle and social media, that we've had a rash of boyfriends, step parents, whatever, and kids. And we've also had a rash of women that are out jogging who have become the victim of a violent crime. We've had is it Rachel Morin? I know there's been a couple of others, and then Laken Riley. This one is from Georgia. She was out actually jogging on one of the paths, I think actually on the Athens, Georgia campus, and her life was taken. So this one, I might better put the banner up for this one. Put the banner up for a minute. Let me find it. So this is Laken Riley. Like I said, she was going to the University of Georgia in Athens. This is from WSBTV.com. It is from February 27th. It says, Laken Riley homicide, affidavits reveal disturbing details about the passing of the 22-year-old nursing student. It says, warning, some may find details in this report graphic or disturbing. So I'll try to water it down, but just be warned. Arrest warrants and now it's jumping on me. Arrest warrants and affidavits obtained by Channel 2 Action News reveal new details on what prosecutors say led up to the death of a 22-year-old nursing student at the University of Georgia campus. Laken Hope Riley went for a run on Thursday near the UGA intramural fields and never returned. Police later found her body. On Friday, police announced the arrest of Jose Antonio Ibarra and charged him with malice because I can't say the whole word. And Mr. Steve, I think I know what most of these mean. Malice felony aggravated battery, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, kidnapping, hindering a 911 call, and concealing the death of another. So I understand all those. I've heard of malice but I don't know how that's differentiated between the other M's. But anyway, so that's everything that he's charged with so far. That's a long list, deservingly so. So keeps jumping. On Friday, police announced. See, it jumped, and I'm reading the same thing. So the documents obtained by Channel 2 Action News on Tuesday accused Ibarra of kidnapping Raleigh between the hours of 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. and, quote, disfiguring her skull with an object. The documents did not specify what kind of object. The Athens Clarke County Coroner's Office confirmed that Riley passed from blunt force trauma to the head. Ibarra, quit jumping. Ibarra is also accused of, quote, physically preventing Riley from making or completing a 911 call. So apparently she had enough time to at least try to either run or call 911. It's horrible. Did it jump again? Sorry, it's jumping. I'm trying to get back to where I was. So he was accused of physically preventing Riley from making or completing a 911 call. The documents allege that Ibarra dragged Riley from the intramural fields to a secluded area and concealed her death. Yes, I'm going to read more. Officials confirmed on Sunday that Ibarra entered the United States illegally. Immigration and Customs Enforcement issued the following statement. U.S. Customs and Border Protection arrested Ibarra September 8th, 2022, after he unlawfully entered the United States near El Paso. We're not going to get into all that political stuff. Not that it's not important and needs to be addressed, but this is not the channel to address it on. Let's see. Keeps jumping on me, guys. Okay, so I guess that was the end of it. So maybe. So we know that she was blunt force trauma, and that apparently, if I'm reading it right and understand it right, that he was charged with what did it say, hindering or stopping from making or completing a 911 call. That maybe, like I said, she had enough maybe a little bit of time to try to run or to make a 911 call before he overpowered her. So sad. So horrible. All right. Let me go see. Check comments. I'm probably way behind again. Oh, I guess I can take that one. All righty. Come on. Now my comments just, there they are. So Junior says no ballet. So going back to Dandy says, I don't know about ballet, but Mr. Steve, I'm assuming you're talking about Mr. Steve, should definitely do a video of him dancing with the mannequins. Yeah, because Mrs. Steve is not going to be dancing with those mannequins. She might be pew-pewing the mannequins, but she's not going to be dancing with them. Yes. Dandy Linus says it's really discouraging that the bulk of these guys have previously been charged with other crimes that get lowered or dropped. Yeah, and I'd read that this Ibarra guy, aside from the fact that, he was not here, he was here illegally, but I was reading an article, I think in New York, he and his either friends or other family members or somebody had been arrested a few times in New York for just like petty stuff, for theft and other things. So it's not like ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, didn't know that he was here illegally if he'd been arrested. I mean, you would think, I don't know how. My uneducated, I don't know how all that works, but you would think if if he had been arrested, that they would have known but yeah, regardless of legal or illegal, it's just horrible all the way around. But yeah, it could have been prevented. So, Mr. Steve, always with the wisdom, says charges setting up the penalty phase of his trial. So you're thinking maybe the DP, Mr. Steve? Maybe the DP. I don't know about the DP in Georgia. I know about the DP in Texas. I'm not from Texas, but I'm close enough, right next door. Um, so Mr. Steve might have to inform us sometime about the DP in Texas. I mean in Georgia. If because I know every state has different policies on the DP. I'm not familiar with Georgia's. I don't think I'm even familiar really with Arkansas. I know I can't remember the last time that Arkansas did a DP. Oh, Junior's got to go to bed. Junior says, got to go to bed or I'll turn into a pumpkin. Okay, Cinderella. We'll start singing night songs to you. See, another 80s, obscure 80s hairband reference. Good night, Junior. It was good to have you here in all seriousness. It's always good to have Junior here. Always good to have all of you guys here. I appreciate it very much. So Dandy Jane says, so he didn't even know her. If you're talking about this case, Laken's case, not that I know of. Who knows? He could have been. They haven't released. This happened. When did it happen? It's a more recent case. Maybe I just haven't read enough articles, but from what unless they just, of course, they're not going to release all the information. It's possible that he either could have just came across her out there. He could have been had seen her before, maybe in a targeting, stalking thing. We don't know. Or at least I don't. There are probably Dandy or anybody else out there that knows more about this that I might have had time to read and research, keep up with these cases that might have read something. But as far as I know, he didn't know her. I stay busy enough trying to research my cases that I do and get my videos or lives, my cases ready for my cases of the week and my missing persons. That's why I depend on you guys and things like doing lives like this to try to stay current on all this other stuff that I try to follow it. But like I said, between doing my stuff and life stuff, I get behind, miss stuff. Yeah, Dennis says they max these guys on charges after they do something this heinous, but they get you said a snake on the wrist, a slap on the wrist leading up to it. Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. Yeah, you slap. That's what I thought you meant. Dandy Linus said slap. Is Dandy Jane still here? Oh, yeah, I just answered her question. Am I still here? I don't know anymore. Woo, I'm loopy, y'all. Maybe I need some more Coke or not, or I need to cut down on the Coke. And I actually need to rest my voice for a minute. Did I finish? Okay, I finished reading that article. Let me get caught up in comments, and then I have a little video I'm going to play because I need to take care of some business. And let me get caught up in the comments. But it's about a Arkansas case that is dear to my heart, the Amir Ellis case. I guess I could read those if we have time at the end. We've been on here almost 2 hours. The Amir Ellis case. There's been a fourth arrest made in the Amir Ellis case. And the person they arrested, I was not surprised because I had my suspicions about it from the beginning. Let me get caught up in comments, and I'll play that video while I take care of some business, and then I'll be back. Well, Dandy Jane says something pees her off. I don't know what, maybe what you're talking about the slap on the wrist. Mm. Okay, so I'm assuming you're talking about this case. Dandy Linus says when the mayor updated the public, he said local LE had no access to people's immigration status. That sounds safe. How can uh, how can you not have access to somebody's immigrant? Like I said, I don't know about. I have no clue when it comes to immigration stuff. But yeah, you would think that. But then again, if somebody comes in illegally, they're not going to know. They're not going to know they're there unless they get stopped or arrested for something, and then they run because they're not going to have if they're illegal, they're not going to. And some legal people, citizens don't have IDs and driver's license. But yeah, unless they just get stopped or arrested for something, and then they could surely then they would find out that they the status. I don't know, but yeah. But I'm still wondering about what, and I don't remember if it's this case or what the case, Dandy, you were telling me about that the sheriff released the pictures or whatever on. See, I'm confused. I've already forgot what case that was. Okay, so Marissa says, no, he did not know her, or so officials have said. Thank you. I knew I could count on you guys to keep me in the loop about things. Okay, and Dandy Linus says he lived in apartment. Okay, I might have read that maybe. He lived in apartments close to where she ran. No known connection otherwise. Excellent. Thank you. Oh goodness, I just thought I was. Let's see. Dandy Jane says she needs some caffeine too. I always need caffeine. Caffeine. Mr. Steve with some more info. Mr. Steve says, because I was asking about the DP, Georgia is ranked 10th in DP per capita from 1976 to 2023. Excellent. I wonder who's number one. I would guess what, Texas. I don't know. Texas just always. I know Texas don't mess around when it comes to the DP. They'll take somebody out in a heartbeat. Not that that's a bad thing. We won't get into that whole debate because I know there's some people believe in the DP and some people don't. So, and everybody has a perfectly, has a right to their opinion. Just we always respect everybody's opinions. Yeah, speaking of, yeah, Dandy said, I, as a younger person, or she, as a younger person, wasn't a fan of the DP. As a middle aged adult, punishment should fit the crime. Sorry, you made bad choices. Yeah. If you're gonna, you just say if you do the crime, you do the time. If you need to find something that rises the price, if you're gonna do something, you're gonna pay the price. Especially this heinous stuff that's been happening. Okay, yeah, the Madeline Soto pictures released. I cannot believe that. Oh, Mr. Steve is on it. He is on the Google machine tonight. So it says Oklahoma's number one, Texas is number two, but Missouri. Okay, Missouri is number three. All right, I didn't even think about Oklahoma, but yeah, that makes sense. Most definitely. Thank you, Mr. Steve. All right, I'm caught up, so I'm going to hope I didn't. No, I don't think I deleted. Find you a video to watch for a second while I rest my voice and Oh, hold on, I have to do it. Hold on, I have to take that down. I have to do it from my phone. All my videos are on my phone. I was trying to load a video from my laptop. Video file. Browse. Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Okay, so I'm going to mute my mic and my cam and then play a video, and hopefully I will be back.
A fourth person in connection to kidnapping and the killing of Amir Ellis.
New tonight at 10, Ashley Godwin brings us these new details in the case. Ashley?
Early Faith, according to new court records obtained by THV11, Takai Shelby is now being charged with felony kidnapping in relation to Amir Ellis's disappearance. This as his mother continues to fight for justice in her son's murder.
This particular warrant for this person has been a long time coming. You know, I feel like this person should have been with the three that's been in jail.
Almost a year after the disappearance of Amir Ellis, another person is being charged. 18-year-old Takai Shelby is wanted by police for felony kidnapping. A probable cause affidavit obtained by THV11 says Amir was at Shelby's house when 3 other suspects came by to take him to another location. Those suspects are Nathaniel Speed, Alexis Chambers, and someone who was 17 years old at the time. They are all now charged with capital murder.
I don't have any ill feelings towards these children, but I just cannot fathom the thought of them just getting to live their best 18, 19-year-old life, and my son don't.
2 months ago, police found the remains of Amir in a wooded area near Jessieville. They have not released the cause of death yet.
It's just still hard to believe sometimes that he is not here, but he did leave me my grandson, and so my grandson is alive.
Jessica says she is closer to justice, but wants to see those responsible for her son's death to take accountability for their actions.
Just keep praying for justice for Amir, for closure sooner than later, because I'm about exhausted.
Now, the next court date for the 3 charged with capital murder will be in March. Garland County does have a gag order on this case, meaning beyond scheduling details, police, prosecutors, or defense lawyers are all limited on what they can tell us in public.
All right, that was, hold on, give me just a minute and I'll explain anybody that doesn't know about this case. They might turn into a dumpster fire. I'm pushing buttons on my phone and okay, let me remove that. Okay. For anybody who does not know about the Amir Ellis case, let me see if I still have my slides. I did do a video update on the Amir Ellis case. I'll probably upload it tomorrow. Are you not coming up? Wait a minute. So, that gave you the background. Amir was abducted. It was set up. Let me get to by this. Takai Shelby. She now has a felony arrest warrant national nationwide arrest warrant for felony kidnapping resulting in homicide. It was issued the 27th of this month. Amir was abducted from her home. The story that she first came out with was that one of Amir's friends dropped Amir off at her house to hang out with her, to visit with her. She went to the restroom. All of a sudden, she heard a commotion going on. She came out of the restroom, and two guys were fighting with Amir. They drug him out of the house and got in a vehicle and took off. Well, and I had, from the very start, I had questioned, and she had, just conveniently, she had turned off the security. Her grandmother lived with her there. It was her grandmother's house. But she had, her story was that she had just conveniently, at that time, turned off the security cameras at the house because she did not want her mother to know that she had friends over, even though the grandmother was there. So the grandmother could have said, hey, this is my house. I don't want friends there. Or the grandmother could have told her mother that she had friends over. So that didn't make any sense. So come to find out, that was just a big old story that she helped set up. These three people, Nathaniel Speed, Alexa Chambers, and Jorge Castilla, were the three that, and the lady in the video you saw was Miss Jessica, who is Amir's mom. So those three were arrested for kidnapping, and now she has been arrested, or she hasn't been arrested yet because they can't find her. She could be anywhere in the United States, so that's why I wanted to put her up here. Takahi Shelby, she now has the nationwide arrest warrant for felony kidnapping because she set him up. Like I said, I will upload the video. She basically texted these three knuckleheads that are in jail now, that were arrested, had got in touch with Takahi and said, hey, text Amir, tell him to come to your house, and then let us know when he gets there, and we're going to come over there and take him. So she was in on it the whole time. Horrible case. And I still feel so bad for Miss Jessica, his mom, for his whole family. He has a son that he never met because Amir Jr. was born after Amir was kidnapped and then ultimately found deceased. I've been following this case from the start. It's an Arkansas case. It's horrible. But now, so she has, and in the video tomorrow, I know Dandelion loves documents. I have the arrest warrant and the probable cause affidavit that explains everything that she did, her part in setting Amir up. So look for that video tomorrow if you guys are interested, want to know some more about this case. It's horrible, and there's rumor, or most assuredly other people that are involved, but they just have to get enough evidence to make some more arrests for other people that were involved in this case too. But anyway, let me get caught up in comments again. Oh yeah, the show me state. Yeah, Daddy Lina says Missouri is my birth state. They'll show you if you run amok. There you go. Yeah, if you're talking about Miss Jessica, Amir's mom, absolutely. I've watched, because there is a Justice for Amir Ellis Facebook group. I'm in it. Miss Jessica herself does not post in there, but another Jen, who is either a family member or a close friend of the family spokesperson, is in this group. She shares Miss Jessica's posts and Miss Jessica's videos. just breaks my heart every time I listen to Miss Jessica talking about this, about Amir, and it's just heartbreaking. Awful case. All right, Mr. Steve says he's finished his coffee, going to get some sleep. Night, everyone. Great show as always. Thank you, Mr. Steve. I don't know if he's still here. I'm behind. Thank you, Mr. Steve. It's always an honor to have Mr. Steve here. Mr. Steve, like I said, go check out Mr. Steve, True Crime Web, and Mrs. Steve. Great channel. Great people. They do great work. Safe travels to Mr. Steve. Oh, we're down to 3 people. I'm gonna have to hurry up. Yeah, Marissa says, how on earth does the sheriff accidentally post a confidential crime scene photo? So that's what. So I must have missed something. It says, so he accidentally posted a confidential crime scene to Instagram. Yeah, how do you accidentally do that? Wow, that is just beyond comprehension for me. What am I missing? Okay, are we talking about the Marissa Soto case still? Dandy said a female staff member took a selfie with the accused and posted it to personal media too. I smell unemployment. Are we still talking about the Soto case or a different case? No matter what case it is, that person should be fired, in my opinion. Well, I don't understand. Dandy says it was no accident. They were on personal phones. Wow. So why would you even, if I'm on the same book as y'all, much less on the same page, why would you even have crime scene photos on your personal phone? If I'm understanding right, how does that even happen? That should never happen. Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, making my Irish come out. Exactly. That's what. Yeah. Why are officers taking pictures of crime scene photos with personal phones? Exactly. Yeah, Marissa says, I know they can use their personal phones, but it's time for them to start issuing work-only phones. Yeah, and I thought maybe not so much the patrol officers, but you would think that higher ranking or like detectives would have work phones, separate work phones and personal phones. But in my opinion, even if it was a work phone, unless well, I guess if it was a work phone, as maybe a CSI person or somebody could send the crime scene photo to a work phone, but still, to me, that's dangerous and it may have been truly an accident. You would hope, but yeah, you're just asking for trouble whenever you start sending. I mean, that's technology is good, but then again, if some mistakes happen and things like that happen and pictures get out and oh, it's a whole mess. Dandy says she's listening hard. What are you listening hard? Hey, Jocelyn. How are you, girl? Good to see you. Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock. Good to see you, Jocelyn. Jocelyn's another late night person like we are, apparently. The ones of us who are still here, all 4 of us. Good to have you here, Joss. Dandy says it is the sheriff of the county. That just blows my mind. Oh, Marissa said that she just saw the selfie with the suspect being arrested. Where did you see it at? I want to see it. Dandy, if you have it, you can put it on my Discord or your Discord or anybody's Discord that we're both on. Yeah, Dandy says we party hard to do crime. Yes, we party like it's 1999. Yes, Jocelyn says, glad that she could catch a live. I'm glad you could catch my live too. I usually see you in Dave's late night, early morning lives. That's usually when I see you. Sometimes I see you other. Where else have I seen you besides Dave? Maybe it has to be either probably True Crime Web or Mob Crew. That's about the only ones that I watch, or the Think Tank, Miss Frankie. That's about the only ones I watch on a regular basis. Hey, Mom said that she has it in Discord. Are you in my Discord, Mind the Monsters? Have I sent you a invite? I can't remember. If not, tell me and I'll send you an invite to my Discord. Okay, Dandy, thank you, Dan. Yes, Dandy, I saw the PM. Thank you. Wonderful. I'll check it. Okay. So next time when I get off here, I will get on Discord and send you an invite to my Discord. Most definitely. And if there's anybody else here, well, there's 5 people. Anybody else? Oh, but then Dandy, me and you are also going to have a talk about a private conversation PM about the Discord invites that you were. I get what you're saying about that now. And something about modding. And you might have sent me. I haven't checked my Discord. I don't know if I've checked it today. Maybe early. But we'll get together and get that straightened out about the Discord invites and the mod. What you're talking about modding? Yeah, Jocelyn says Mob Crew, Chris or Mr. Steve. Yeah. Yeah, the only channels I think the only channels I watch on a regular basis, I try to catch live when I can, but is of course True Crime Web, Mr. Steve, Chris, Mob Crew, and Miss Frankie at Think Tank. Like I said, a lot of times I have to be a replay crew, but that's just as good. Marissa says, do they think any more arrests will come in the Amir case? I wonder how the grandmother can be home and not be done for hindering. Yes, ma'am. I have to be careful how I say, let's just say at the moment, because there is a gag or when they arrested the 3, Nathaniel Speed, Alexa Chambers, and Jorge Castilla for kidnapping. After that, there was a gag order put on Amir's case for whatever reason. So no information publicly has come out. But like I said, it did not surprise, just from being in the Justice for Amir Ellis Facebook group. A lot of his friends, some of his family members are in that group. They have inside information, and let's say it's word on the streets, you might say, about other people that allegedly are involved. So they have put pictures and names in the group. I can't name any names or put any pictures here because but I would not, I'll just say I would not be surprised. Hopefully in the near future, before this case is over with, there will be more arrests made. That's all I can say. But yes, they definitely think or know that other people were involved. They just have to get the evidence, to get enough evidence and probable cause to make more arrests. I hope that made sense. So yeah, but the grandmother, yeah, because the grandmother was in the house when Amir was abducted. I'll say abducted. Was abducted. Now, whether or not she knew that he was going to be abducted, she might not have known he was going to be abducted, but she was there when he was abducted, and she did not call the police or tell anybody anything. So surely, like you said, hindering or failing to whatever, surely she should, in my opinion, should be charged with something, because she did not, they did not call it, neither she nor Takali Shelby, the one who now has the felony warrant out, neither one of them called the police. Miss Jessica, and I don't even know who called the police. Oh, no, I do. Excuse me, rewind. Miss Jessica, Amir's mother, did not know that Amir had been abducted until the next day, when Takahi Shelby called her and said, "Oh, by the way, some people came in my house yesterday and abducted your son." That's how Miss Jessica found out that Amir was abducted. She didn't call the police. Takahi Shelby didn't call the police. The grandmother didn't call the police. So after Takahi Shelby, or whoever it was, I believe it was her, called Miss Jessica and said, "Hey, somebody came in and abducted Amir yesterday," Miss Jessica called the police and said, "I just got this phone call and somebody told me my son has been abducted." That's how that happened. I'm telling you guys, you would not believe that. I have a playlist. If you want to know, anybody who wants to know more about this case, go to the Amir Ellis playlist, and I have all the videos there, all the details that have been publicly released. And I will be uploading, like I said, tomorrow at some point, I will be uploading the Takahi Shelby information, probable cause affidavit. All right, I'm babbling and getting behind again. Yes, Dandy, we will tomorrow, if you have time. I have all the time in the world right now. All I'm doing during the day is filling out work applications. Yes, we will get together soon about everything that you need to talk to me about. Okay, so you said you've got 100 news stations on standby. I missed something. Yes, Marissa says, "I understand. I just hope everyone is held accountable for their actions." Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I so wish I could say more, but I just, here on YouTube, I don't, I want to keep my integrity and the integrity of the channel, not because I want to protect alleged offenders, but I just, but yeah, there's definitely, allegedly, probably, most certainly other people involved. They just, law enforcement just has to get enough evidence, probable cause to make more arrests. So hopefully more arrests will be coming in the future. Are you talking about Amir? Daddy says it's a crazy one. Arrests need to be made. Yeah. If you're talking about Amir, yes. That's just the half of it. You don't even know and it just pees me off, because here in Arkansas, there's been a lot of victim blaming. Amir was a typical 19, 20-year-old young man. Yes, he may have dabbled in the Mary Jane. And it possibly, because everybody's asking, what is the motive? What is the motive? Possibly could have had something to do with a substance, not like trafficking amount, but just, but everybody's wanting to, he shouldn't have been into drives me crazy. It doesn't matter what, it's not like he was out, I might get in trouble for saying this. it's not like he was out gang banging and doing this and that. He was a 19, 20-year-old kid, had a girlfriend, had a baby on the way that he was excited about. He may have partook in some substance every once in a while. But, everything that's been released by not just his family, but other people who knew him, he was basically a good kid. And there's just been so much victim blaming, and it just drives me batty. Even if he was dabbling or maybe selling a little, that does not give anybody, in my opinion, does not give anybody the right to take his life or anybody's life, This is one of those cases that this is the first case in a long time that gets me this riled up when I talk about it. When it comes to Arkansas cases that I know a lot about, it's just craziness. All right, Mom, you may be gone already. Thank you for stopping in, Mind the Monsters. Always good to have you here. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. Okay, good. Dandy says, I've seen some stuff about Amir. Mama needs to know. They all do. No one deserves to travel to the next life this way. Absolutely. Like I said, he was just, because, because people will say, well, of course the family is not going to say anything bad about anything he was doing. They're all going to be, sunshine and roses. But we all know that in most cases, when something like this happens, the first thing that most media does is they go dig up all the dirt they can find on the victim and report about it. I have not seen one bad report, as far as the media goes, about anything that Amir has done, except for they mention, he might have dabbled a little, partaken a little in the Mary Jane, maybe sell a little to his friends or buy from his friends. That's it. I mean, that's not, you don't, and it might not have anything to do with that. It might have something to do with something totally different that has not been released publicly. I don't know, but, oh, it's a horrible, horrible, horrible. Exactly. Marissa says, no reason to end up deceased. Exactly. Yep. Marissa says, he's a kid. Kids mess up. And the only thing that, now Miss Jessica did say, I think I read in one article that for maybe the last year before he was abducted and his life was taken, that she'd been kind of worried about him, about some things that he was doing. But from what I gather, it wasn't, like trafficking or, pew-pewing anybody or anything like that. It was just hanging with the wrong crowd. I mean, kids mess up. He was basically a good kid, not, unless there's just something that comes out in the future. I have not read or seen anything that he did that would, nothing. Nobody has the right to take anybody's life, regardless of what they may or may not have done. That's, All right. This will be another 3-hour one. Let me see what we got. Okay, this is a mini Hughes. I do want to get to this one. This is the 12-year-old girl who went missing from Houston. She has been found safe. Let me find her article. This is another scary one. She has been found safe. Somebody, a person of interest has been arrested, or a suspect, has been arrested. This is from ustoday.com, and it is from yesterday, whatever day it is, the 4th. And it says a 27-year-old man is in, let me swat some ads. There we go. is in police custody on suspicion of his alleged involvement in the disappearance of a 12-year-old girl who went missing from her Houston home a week ago. I cannot pronounce his name. Sertarian Preston was detained by the police department in Columbus, Texas on Friday, March 1st, after the department became aware that missing girl Amini Hughes, who an Amber Alert was issued for her on February 28th, could be in Columbus city limits, which is in Texas, according to a Facebook post shared by the police department. When police attempted to take Preston into custody, he tried fleeing on foot, but he was ultimately captured and arrested. For now, Preston is in Colorado County Jail and charged with evading, police said. More charges could be forthcoming as the FBI's investigation into the girl's disappearance continues, according to the Facebook post. In an X post shared Friday, FBI Houston said it is, quote, proud to have helped rescue yet another missing child. The missing girl, Amini, who you see there on the slide, beautiful, beautiful girl, was brought back to Houston and taken to a hospital. A Houston police spokesman told USA Today. They say physically she appeared to be fine. This was according to a spokesperson. Amini had been missing since Amini had been missing since February 22nd, according to the Texas Center for the Missing. Houston police said that she was found unharmed in Columbus a short time ago. That says we are determining why Preston, the person, and if I can share my screen, I think it has a picture of him. They're trying to figure out why he was with Amini. I think I have my suspicions why. And it says police believe that Amini's disappearance could be tied to the social media app, this dating app, this Tagged. Before being found, Houston police said Amini may have been active on a social media app known as Tagged. According to Apple App Store, Tagged is a dating app with around 300 million users for people 17 and older, and she is 12 years old. It says millions of people are having fun and making new friends on Tagged every day, the app's website reads. You can too. The Meet Group, the parent company of Tagged, told USA Today that it proactively reached out to Houston police to offer any assistance with the case as soon as it became aware of the situation. They said, we were deeply saddened to learn the news of Amini's disappearance and are relieved by her safe return. Nothing is more important to us than the safety and well-being of the community on our platforms every day. Oh, sorry, it scared me. My cat is running around. The company also said its terms and conditions prohibit minors from using its apps and utilizes technology and manual analysis, in other words, I think Dandy said AI, to check for minors who have registered using a false age. How are they going to know? I mean, I do have a problem with these apps, but I can't totally blame it on the apps because, yes, teenagers do get on there and lie about their age. There has got to be some better way to keep these babies from being able to get on these apps. But they went on to say, should we be made aware of any attempts to circumvent our process, we thoroughly investigate any report involving a possible minor user or child exploitation. We invest significantly in these efforts, and while we know that sadly there is no way to make this process completely infallible, we are continuously evolving to stay at the forefront of best-in-class safety practices. Although Houston police believe that the young girl may have been using Tagged, they have not yet released details on how it is connected to the case. Amini was last seen getting into a dark-colored four-door Dodge pickup, wearing a white crop top and pink joggers. Amini's mother, Shannon Williams, told KPRC on February 27th that she hadn't seen her daughter since Thursday night before bed. And when she woke up Friday morning, Minnie was gone. This is just the background. Williams, the mama said that she doesn't know if her daughter was talking to someone online. And Minnie has stepped out of the family home for a walk hours before her disappearance, according to her mother. And the mother and daughter's last conversation consisted of Minnie asking her mother to wake her up early for school that Friday. Not knowing where she is, well, they found her now, so that's irrelevant. So yeah, so she has been found, and I thought that this had a picture. Maybe I passed him up of the person who was arrested. Might have been another article that I had, or maybe it's just my pictures aren't coming up. But anyway, so he's been arrested, and I think, in my opinion, he this person that is arrested lured her through this app and was either going to he was a predator and was going to do what predators do to her, or both, was going to traffic her. And that is law enforcement has also mentioned that too in other articles that I read. So it is, thankfully they found this baby, this beautiful baby girl, and she is safe now. Yep, I agree. Dandy says, I know what you're saying. IDGAF, where we are in life, we all deserve to pass, be laid to rest in a dignified way. Absolutely. If you're talking about Amir, yes. Or anybody, but yeah, Amir. And they have not released his COD. I suspect that it's probably pew pew, but I don't know. I would just guess, just knowing what I know about the case, what's been said, not released publicly, but what's been said in the group. Yes, Jocelyn says, so glad this beautiful girl was found safe. Too many horrific cases. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Dandy says that is cringe. Kids on adult dating apps. I know. And like I said, I come down hard on these apps, and I know that the apps, it's not only the app's fault. Teenagers do get on there and lie about their age, but there's just got to be some. We talked about this in I think probably my other 3.5 hour live stream that we had, or whenever the last time we were talking about this case about a mini. There's got to be some way to protect these kids better, and I just don't know how. I don't know. There's got to be some way. Yes, that is one way. Marissa said parents need to watch their kids. My son is 20 years old, but is autistic with a revised age of 14, so I keep an eye on his social media accounts. Absolutely. Yep. My youngest nephew is 17, and he is adopted. He came, a lot of you, if you're here, you've heard me tell this story 1,000 times. We got him, he was blessed to, we were blessed with him to get him when he was, or I say, not me personally, our members of our family. My youngest brother and sister adopted him when he was 7. He came from a very bad situation. I'll just put it that way. He is now 17. Yes, he has had his problems, adjustments. He still has issues, but he's doing 100% better than he was when he first came to us. He's 17 years old. He a normal 17-year-old boy. He can sing like an angel. That boy can sing. He's taught himself, or he learned how to play guitar. He's in a band. Him and a couple of his friends have a band. So good. They sing. He sings in church. But my point is, before I got distracted with his story, is his parents, my youngest brother and sister-in-law, they have access to all his social media accounts. He has the Life 360 on his phone. They know where he is at all times. So yeah, they're maybe not on the level of helicopter parenting or whatever you call it, but they have access to all his social media. Like I said, Life 360 on his phone, so they know where he's at all times. You can't be too careful. Of course, he doesn't like it, but it's either that or he does not have a phone and he can't leave the house. So he's a normal 17-year-old kid. He wants to leave the house and be a teenager. Nothing wrong with being a teenager, but you just got to be careful. Yep. You're right, Jocelyn. Kids want to grow up way too fast sometimes and don't realize the consequences. Absolutely. They think they're invincible. Yep. I agree with Jocelyn, yeah, about educating the kids with web safety and all that. Oh my goodness, Marissa. Marissa says, I had a head start with my kids. My foster son met someone online at 15 and traveled 14 hours away and ended up in a really bad place. We were lucky to get him. Oh, yes, very lucky. Thoughts, prayers, and good vibes. That's scary. Yep, Jocelyn says Life 360 was a must. Yep. All right, I think I'm caught up. Oh, Lordy, don't know how many. So I can't even remember what I had on Elijah Vu. I know it's not anything earth shattering. Maybe when the parents are supposed to be back in court. Yeah, it's just Elijah's mother, caretaker, the disciplinarian, both expected in Manitowoc Circuit Court this week. So Katrina Bauer and Jesse Vang are both expected to appear in Manitowoc County Circuit Court Thursday as they continue to face neglect charges. Bauer, 31, of Wisconsin Dells, is being held at Manitowoc County Jail on $15,000 bond and is expected of felony child neglect in connection with the disappearance of her son. Vang, a 39-year-old Two Rivers man, was also arrested and charged with felony child neglect. We all know that story. I don't think there's anything new. My voice is about to give out on me. The FBI has offered a $15,000 reward for information leading to locating Elijah or convicting those responsible for his disappearance. And the Manitowoc County Crime Stoppers has offered a $1,000 reward. So they're still canvassing and searching. As far as when this article came out, I didn't even read to see when it came out. I'm just reading to see if I don't think there's anything that we don't already know about that. Just say if you have for anybody watching replay or anything, if you have any information that could help the Two Rivers Police Department find Elijah, contact their tip line at 844-267-6648 or submit information via the Crime Stoppers app P3. People who share information that leads to finding Elijah or the arrest of anyone involved in or responsible for his disappearance could be eligible to receive a reward of up to $1,000 through Manitowoc County Crime Stoppers or $15,000 through the FBI. So that is, unless anybody's still left here, I think it's me and Jocelyn and Dandy, or Marissa's here. Has heard any updates on Elijah in the last few hours? I haven't. I watched some local news earlier with the weather, but I haven't watched any national news. Oh wow, Marissa, your foster son turns 40 this year. Outstanding. Oh my goodness. Jocelyn says your daughter has a stalker at her college. Reported him several times to security. They kept telling me she's an adult. That it doesn't matter. Or in my opinion, that's my kid. Even at 21, I always worry about. Yeah. So they're saying that adults can't have. I mean, it's legal for it doesn't if she's an adult that she can be stalked and they can't do anything about it. That's not right. If I'm reading that right, of course, my old eyes are getting bad on me. Oh, I like that. Dandy, hashtag let's find Elijah. I'm gonna start using that. I'm gonna steal it from you. Borrow it. We can all use it. We'll make it go viral or whatever it is. Trend or whatever the kids call it. You can tell I'm fancy. I know all I know everything about this YouTube Google stuff, Google machine stuff. Okay, so you're talking about Elijah. Marissa says they released photos of the car and have narrowed the dates for looking for the car to the 19th and 20th. Thank you. So Jocelyn, you said security told you that he has had multiple complaints and they've done nothing. That is a horrible thing waiting to happen. I'm just sitting here holding my security blanket. If he's had multiple complaints, how can it? Oh goodness, I don't even know why I ask how or why anymore about these things because it just nothing makes sense anymore when it comes to predators, potential predators and stalkers. Absolutely no sense. Yeah, Marissa says I would not accept that as an excuse or as an answer. I wouldn't either. Dandy says there's nothing recent on Elijah. So I'm just reading your comments. I don't want to put them up on the screen because it's kind of, about your basically she's an adult. They don't want to hear from her mom. I wouldn't care. I'd be, and I know you probably would be up there. I will continue to talk to security until something is done. Absolutely. Yeah, that if he's doing that to your daughter and they've had previous complaints, I don't see how he's still at that school or something hasn't been done already. That's like I said, that's something very bad waiting to happen. Yeah, said he hasn't done any, and that's the problem. So they said he hasn't done anything physical, so their hands are tied. That is a problem. That is to me that is a problem with DV too. DV is more than just physical. DV is mental. DV is emotional. DV is verbal. It's not just physical. I'm a big DV what not advocate. I don't advocate DV, but you know what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's how DV victims end up deceased. That's how victims of stalking end up deceased. It's true their hands are tied. They can't do anything until something physical happens. There's got to be new laws or something They can be done before it reaches that physical level. When it reaches a physical level, it's already too late, unfortunately. So, Dandy says, I don't have to steal it. Good. We'll all share it. Yep. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, Marissa, that's the way it is in the U.S. Too. Until hands are put on, nothing can be done. That's basically the way it is in the U.S. Oh, it just drives me nuts. Yep, Dandy said, you probably said it before I did. It's usually too late then. Yeah, by the time it gets to the physical level where that something can be done, it's too late. It's too late. All right, let's see if I had anything else. Oh goodness, let's end on a happy note with these. And I don't know if there's been any updates about these body parts that were found in Long Island in the park. Oh my gosh. Let me see when this article's from. I'd heard a little bit about this. I think maybe in Mr. Steve's members only chat, somebody was talking about it the other day. So this is from the longislandpress.com, and it is from, hell, I don't know when it's from the 4th, from yesterday, today, whatever it is. Discovery of severed body parts, in Babylon puts village on edge. I'm assuming Babylon is like a little neighborhood of Long Island. I have no clue. Anyway, so horrible. A child finding a severed arm, and this is not written right. Maybe I'm not reading it right. It says a child found a severed arm, and Suffolk County Police unearthing five more dismembered body parts nearby shocked the village. So it's a village. Okay, I got it. Village of Babylon, a community known for its popular downtown, not grisly crimes. Until now, the disturbing discoveries prompted the Babylon Elementary School to suspend outdoor recess while investigators searched neighboring Southard's Pond Park for more human remains Thursday and Friday. Speculation ran rampant about who could be the offender, and fear so gripped the community that village officials went door to door to try to calm the nerves of residents who live closest to the crime scene. The last few days have been filled with anxiety, tragedy, and sadness. Babylon village mayor, make sure my phone isn't, okay. I thought my phone wasn't charging. Babylon Village Mayor Mary E. Adams wrote in a message to the community, adding that police assured her that officers will conduct additional patrols of the area. We now await answers. Suffolk averages about 30 homicides annually. That's not bad. I mean, one is too many, but 30, I don't know how big Suffolk is, but anyway, but this case marks the first time in a decade that a offender scattered the severed remains of a victim. Leah Cuevas is currently serving 25 years to life in prison after being convicted of taking the life of a woman in New York City and discarding the victim's body parts in Bayshore and Hempstead in 2014. SWAT mads again. In the current case, authorities said a girl was walking to school when she discovered the severed left arm of a man on the west side of Siegel Boulevard, between streets, I don't know, at 8:40 a.m. on Thursday. The secluded stretch of street bordered by Southard's Pond Park, a sprawling forest with a pedestrian path that runs through it. To the west of Babylon Cemetery, to the east, is a short walk from the village's bustling main drag, lined with shops and restaurants. The girl called her father, who responded to the scene and dialed 911. A canine unit cadaver dog later discovered a leg and a mound of leaves on the western side of the park near Graham Place, which is near the elementary school. Oh, God. It's close to an elementary school. Ugh. The same dog found a right arm about 20 feet away from where the girl made the initial discovery. Babylon School District Superintendent Carissa Manza emailed parents that recess was held indoors, quote, out of an abundance of caution and not to interfere with the investigation. The park was temporarily closed during the search and reopened after the search ended Friday. Both arms had tattoos and appeared to belong to the same man. How would they know that? According to investigators. A photo that appeared to be of one of the arms in a pile of brush that was circulating on social media. Oh God, not more pictures on social media. Appeared to show at least one of the fingertips missing. Oh God. I'm not laughing at this story, but remember the conversation we had earlier when I say this. I promise I'm not laughing at this situation. So this arm or whatever, it was missing, one of the fingertips missing, and a tattoo that appeared to say Sandy on the back of the hand. God, people coming in who have not been here are going to be wondering why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at this story. But we had this whole thing about Sandy earlier. Okay. It appeared to have Sandy on the back of the hand. Police confirm that they are aware of the photo. That's horrible that somebody put, what is it with putting these photos on social media? But declined further comment other than to say that the department did not release the image. Well, I would hope not after almost called Sandy Dandy. After Dandy was talking about the sheriff who released the. Hello, sir. Can I help you? Oh, my cat just came in. I lost my place. I've lost my mind. Suffolk medical examiners determined that a leg severed from the knee down, a right upper leg, a decapitated head. I should have put the trigger warning up. I forgot the banner. And a right arm found on the western side of the park are believed to be of an adult woman. So there's two, a man and a woman. Based on the condition preliminarily, no, I don't want to. It appears that it's a small amount of days, if not hours, that they were out here. According to one of the detectives. Detectives and medical examiners are working to identify the victims, find where the rest of their remains may be, and arrest whoever took their lives. If coroners are unable to identify the pair, a New York state law enacted in 2016 mandates that investigators upload details of the case to the National Missing, or to NamUs, a national clearinghouse for missing, unidentified, and unclaimed person cases. As of this story, Suffolk currently has 24 cases in NamUs for unidentified human remains dating back to 1978. The most recent Suffolk case in NamUs was an unidentified man's skeletal remains found in the backyard of a Brentwood, I think that's a fancy neighborhood, isn't it? Home on March 3rd, 2018. Homicide Squad detectives asked anyone with information to contact them at 631-852-6392 or call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS, and all calls will remain anonymous. So that is the latest on the Jocelyn says that's what terrifies me. Are we still talking about like the DV and the stalking? Yeah. Okay, Jocelyn's going to be right back, maybe. Dandy says that is tragic. Like, what the fetch are you talking about? And I hope y'all, I did not mean to offend anybody, but when it said the tattoo said Sandy in the conversation we had earlier with Sandy and Dandy, and that just, I'm loopy. I was not at all laughing at this situation, but just why it just had to be the name Sandy. Oh God. I'm going to get so much hate comments if anybody watches this that wasn't here and doesn't know the backstory of the Sandy. But anyway, oh my God, that's a bunch of people. Danny said, Long Island's population is 7.64 million in 2019. That's why I live in a town that's less than 2,000. Uh-uh. Oh, Marissa. Oh, Marissa says start dancing. Yeah, you got it, didn't you, Marissa? When I said Sandy, yeah, I'm gonna start dancing. I'm gonna fall out of my chair in a minute. So Dandy, or no, excuse me, Marissa said the hands were minus fingerprints. I thought, were they? I thought I'd read somewhere that it might have been another case with severed body parts, that maybe the fingertips have been cut off or something. I don't know if it's this case or if I'm thinking about a different one. Okay, what investigation is lame? Oh, I'm good. I'm glad I'm not lame. I feel lame sometimes. I feel so bad about laughing during that, but when I saw Sandy, it just sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, Marissa says if they make it this far through the live, or the replay, they will understand. I hope so, God, or I'll get so many hate comments, or people unsubscribe, or people report me to YouTube. And then they said no print dismembered what? Dory's dismembered something. Dio, maybe did you autocorrect again? I don't know what Dory's are. I know Dory from Finding Nemo. I think okay, that was that was the last story I had. So if you guys want to talk about anything else, any updates you have, any other cases? Okay, no prints dismembered. Okay, got it. Got it. If you guys want almost 3 hours in, so that is all I had. You guys have anything else? I'll do one more time. I'll do my shameless plugging right quick, and then I'll get back to last comments. So if anybody watching now, or anybody that's made it all the way through this replay, if you we're usually more serious, and we do absolutely take what we talk about very seriously. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button. Like, share, comment, all those things help small channels like mine. The YouTube algorithm pushes them out there. Small channels like mine who don't cover the big national cases. I cover missing persons, cold cases, lesser known cases that don't get the attention that they deserve nationally or even locally. That is the main thing that I cover. Although nights like this, I do cover some stories that we have been following, keeping up with in the news. So please consider subscribing. You can find me on Facebook. I have a group and a page. If you ever have any questions or comments, you can email me, or you can either email me or you can drop a comment in any of my videos or live streams. I get notifications whenever anybody comments on anything. If you have a case that is dear to your heart, that either you know personally, may have happened where you live, or any case you've heard of that you think has not got enough attention, email me the details, the victim's name, the state where it happened, any information you have. I will do my best to research it and do a video or a live stream on it, and try to bring more awareness to it. That's what I'm here for. If you would like to help support the channel and the search for the missing, I have Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, Venmo, Southern Gal True Crime merch. You can find all the links in the description box of this live stream, or any of my live streams or videos, the recent ones anyway. And you can also find all the links on the About section of the page. All right, I think that is all my shameless plugging. I'll put that one back up there. Are you telling me to get off of here? Get off here and catch up. Ruth, Sebastian, and Madeline. It's infuriating. All right, yeah, I'm gonna get off here. Good night, Dandy. Good night, Jocelyn. Ruth. Were you calling somebody Ruth? I know. I love you, Dandy. Yeah, we all need sleep. Thank you, everybody was here. Jocelyn, Dandy, Marissa, Mr. Steve, Junior, our new friend, Dandy Jane. I don't want to forget anybody, but help me remember who else was here. Jocelyn, I'm repeating, Marissa, Dandy, just because we've all been talking. Mr. Steve was here, Junior. Ryu was here earlier. Fritzy Garage popped in from Poland. Trying to go down through comments to make sure I don't miss anybody. I think I got everybody. Just check out True Crime Web. Check out the Think Tank. Check out the Mob Crew. Check out Mind of Monsters. Mind of Monsters was here. There's Dandy Jane. ASMR was here. Our new friend. So many comments. I think I got everybody, Junior. I'm repeating myself now. I think I got everybody. If you were here and I forgot to mention your name, I apologize. Thank you, everybody that was here. Thank you, everybody watching replay. I promise we're not always this goofy. Just usually we're just this goofy on the weekends. So Marissa is booting everybody to bed. So thank you, everybody. I will see you. I don't even know what day it is. I will be uploading the Amir Ellis video tomorrow. Check that out with the probable cause affidavit. It is very interesting. Check out the Amir Ellis playlist to know everything about this case if you want to know about this case. I'll see you Friday with whatever case of the week I'm going to do, whether I do a live stream or a premiere. Okay, I'm Loopy. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support and the friendship, and helping me keep these cases out there. Love you guys. See you later.